let's take a look at how to use direct object pronouns in Spanish. And direct object pronouns are used to replace direct objects, and they're also used to avoid being redundant in Spanish. Okay, we don't want to be repetitive. So let's write our direct object pronouns. Me, te, lo, la, nos, los, and las. Now, let's write what they mean in English. Me, you, lo could mean him, you as in usted. It could also mean it, and this would refer to a noun that is masculine and singular. Her, you as in usted. It, in a noun that is feminine and singular. Nos, we, los. Them, or you all, as in ustedes, and this would be masculine and plural. And las, them, you all, as in ustedes, and this would be feminine and plural. Okay, let's take a look at a couple examples. So let's write yo uso la computadora. Okay, so I use the computer. Now, before we rewrite these sentences and substitute, we're going to take into account two things, and so I'm going to write them up here. So we have to take into account gender, meaning is it masculine or is it feminine? And we need to take into account number, meaning is it singular or plural? Okay, so if we look at this sentence, yo uso la computadora, I know that the computer is the direct object because it receives the action of uso. So now I need to ask myself two questions. What's the gender? Well, I know the gender is feminine because of the word la, and I know that it is singular because it says la and not las. So when I rewrite this sentence, I have to substitute using the direct object pronoun la. And so now the sentence becomes yo uso, and now we're going to include the direct object pronoun la, and we are going to put it right here before the conjugated verb. Okay, so this sentence says yo uso la computadora, I use the computer, and now it says yo la uso, I use it. Okay, now let's give one more example. Tú necesitas, maybe it's Friday night and your friends are going to a party and you can't go because you have to study for a test, and therefore you have to read a book, which makes you happy. Okay, so tú necesitas leer el libro. So let's underline the direct object, and now we're going to ask ourselves, what's the gender? We know that it is masculine because of the word el, and we know that it is singular because it says el and not los. So now we're going to substitute. So tú necesitas leer. Now the question is, where are we going to include this lo, which is the direct object pronoun that replaces el libro? Well, in this case, we can put it before the conjugated verb, tú lo necesitas leer. But in Spanish, we also have another way. We can also say, tú necesitas leer, and we can attach it to this infinitive. So, tú lo necesitas leer, or tú necesitas leerlo. Okay? I think I forgot my R over here in the infinitive leer, so let's write the R. Okay? So the first sentence here, tú necesitas leer el libro, you need to read the book, now becomes you need to read it. Tú lo necesitas leer or tú necesitas leerlo. Take a look at these direct object pronouns. Remember, they replace direct objects and we use them to avoid being redundant. Okay? If you have any questions, let me know. Hasta luego.